Hey guys, what's up? Attacking Toucans here, welcoming you back to some more Let's Build the Ultimate Theme Park in Planet Coaster. In the last episode, we worked on our space station quite a bit, but this episode we are heading back over to our medieval section to work more on our car ride. So the first thing I worked on was the gate because it was kind of like off-center, didn't look really bad on this car ride. But then afterwards, I wanted to work on the outside of the wall. Now, the very first section of the ride, you go through like this happy, like, medieval town of some sort, but then you go outside the wall and it gets terrifying. There's all of these dark trees, there's a dark tunnel, we have witches, we have fire, we have death, there's sorrow, despair, resentment. And then when you add both of those different themes and combine them into the same ride, it adds a really cool dynamic to the ride, almost like you're at Disney World and they like really put in a lot of effort into the scenery. That's what we're really going for with this. Now, before I talk any more about this game, I want to let you guys know that this is the very last episode where I'm going to have the game in bad graphics. I just updated my graphics card and I added a new power supply to my computer so I could use the graphics card. So I've just done some computer upgrades and I'm going to keep doing more. I want to replace my motherboard and processor eventually. But just doing the graphics card upgrade means that this next episode that I record, I will be able to have the game in good graphics. The frame rate will be way smoother. Everything will look way better just in general. And that also means I can start doing some videos where I play the game in the campaign mode. Because I was waiting to do the campaign mode for when I got my computer upgrades and can play the game with good graphics, but now that it is upgraded, I can do such things. Mwahaha! Mwahaha! Wow. Okay, so back to this game. We are placing lots of trees everywhere, all these spooky trees like the foresty fir trees and the dead barren trees, and there's also like the big scary just like trees with the faces, and I think it's really cool because they allow you to place the roots themselves, so it looks like the roots are like growing out really far, and so you can like place it on the other side of the track and it seems like the roots are going underneath the track. But yeah, we made this really spoopy forest. We have a witch flying around in circles, her house is over there, you go through a dark tunnel, and there's just so much death and despair. But as we're finishing this up, I want to talk more about doing the campaign and how I want to do that. Now, I'm trying to decide if I want to make videos over the campaign or if I want to stream it, because it's a much more elongated type thing, and I'm not sure how many like separate Planet Coaster series I want to have on my YouTube channel by themselves. But I have been enjoying doing lots of streaming lately. If you guys have not been coming to my streams, I would really encourage it. It's been like a really fun like community that we've kind of created. But I kind of want to like stream the campaign because you play the campaign for like 4 or 5 hours each for each level, and I think that's like the perfect like stream length. And I really want to play some more Planet Coaster on Steam so I can have some more Planet Coaster content, because I'm wanting to get more into the community of other YouTubers who play the game. And once I start doing some more Planet Coaster stuff and get more of a Planet Coaster following myself, I believe I can start like really talking to them about it and be like really in with the times. Like I'm pretty in with the times when it comes to all the things they're adding to the game. Like I stay up with all of their update logs, I check out all their new updates. And speaking of updates, they did add some more updates since the last episode, so I need to tell you about that. I'll get to that later. But something else I'm really excited about is just being able to do some ride, like point of view videos for these rides now that we can play the game in high quality, because I want to make some videos where we just ride the rides and it's like really nice looking, but I didn't want to do it when my frame rate looked like crap and the graphics just being subpar. I wanted to really show off the game's capabilities before I did that. But now that I have everything upgraded, we are going to make some awesome coaster videos, and I'm really excited about it. Now, what I'm building right here is the entrance and exit to the monorail. That was like the one thing I was kind of stressing out about when it came to the placement, so I wasn't really sure how I was going to do the paths, but I kind of ended up making them just go against the wall, and the curved paths are just so good, and I was able to make it kind of fit in with the wall in like a really nice manner. And then I covered the end of it up with like a giant, I made like a kind of church or a chapel or whatever. And I'm putting a gift shop inside, and there's like a little tiny courtyard or like area for people to just like stand and look at their maps or whatever they do in theme parks, take odd pictures with their family that they're going to post on Facebook and no one's going to give a shit about, except for Aunt Susan. Aunt Susan, she cares about everything that's happening in the family. She is up to date with every single picture that your mom posts on Facebook because she loves seeing you kids grow. Aunt Susan is a very lovely lady, and we are all blessed to have an Aunt Susan in our lives. Alright, now as I am constructing this tower, I want to tell you guys about the new DLC that they added to Planet Coaster. Now, all the updates they've added thus far have been free updates to the game, but they finally added, well, I'm not sure if finally is the right word, but they added DLC to the game. There's 3 different packs, and they are $2.99 each, $2.99, and the really cool and unique thing about this DLC is it uses the IP, the intellectual property, from other companies. So it is crossovers from Planet Coaster. It's using some movies. It's Back to the Future, so they added the DeLorean and lots of car parts that you can like break down and use like different pieces of, which I think is really cool. They also are doing stuff from Knight Rider, which is a movie I've never seen, but it has like a really cool, like, I guess, iconic car. It's an action movie of some sort from I think the 90s, but they added the car from that, and then they also added some like themed stuff from Monsters, which is a monster movie that I have also not seen, but I might watch them now because I want to know like the relevance, because they added it to Planet Coaster. So it's pretty good advertisement, I would say that they did a pretty good job with that. And it really kind of excites me, the whole concept of that, because them adding this means that there is the possibility of them doing more collaborations like this. So think of all of the different things they could license into this game and add as DLC. Like, that would be so cool, just like all the different types of sceneries. Like, I'm not sure if this will be possible, but what if they did a licensing deal with DLC and they added a bunch of official like Nintendo structures you could add into your parks, or just something with like restaurants like McDonald's or Burger King being able to put their menus and just assets from those restaurants into the game. Or, I mean, movies. There's so many movies and video games and different crossovers they could do, which I just think would be super freaking awesome. So I'm really excited they're like approaching this territory. Now, in the comments to the videos announcing the DLC, there was lots of people who were having problems with it. They were saying in a really condescending tone, if you're going to give us DLC, we want like a zoo expansion or a water park expansion, not something like this. And my response to that is, you really need to like chill if you think that that type of expansion isn't enough right now, because if you think about it, they've been giving us free updates practically every single month, adding lots of like really good updates for free, and they're still probably working on the larger expansions. They just need more time because the game came out literally like what, a year ago? Not even that, maybe. So they just need some more time to kind of finish that type of thing. So I think it's cool that they're adding DLC like this now, and it kind of shows that they're probably going to add even way more cool things in the future. And that's like one of the things that gets me so excited about this game. They are probably going to add a water park expansion, but they got to add some like smaller stuff that is easier to do first, and they'll probably eventually get to all of it. But like adding a whole entire water park expansion takes a lot of time, and it seems like they're still working a lot on the base game and just adding lots of cool content to that to make it a like morally fully fledged game. So just like give them time, it'll all be good, and I am really excited for any DLC that they're going to add onto it. Also, I am all for the idea of DLC because I like having opportunities to give the company a bit more of our money just to show appreciation for all the work they're continuously doing on this game. I mean, I'm sure the game's making a lot of money, because I think last time I checked, it sold around 500,000 units or so in the first year, which is really good for a game, honestly. And I think it's just going to keep going up. And as they add more DLC, like, they're going to get more money. But the more money we give to this company for this game, the more people they will probably hire on to work on this game. And just it's just a continuous good thing for us and the developers of the game. So I'm all forward to some DLC to kind of add some boosted income while they're working on it, just to kind of raise their morale, I guess. Because money makes the world go round, and when you invest money into something, it usually pays off. Anyways, we are getting a lot done on this village. I haven't talked about it, but we pretty much have the church done. One of the other major things I need to finish is the wall that surrounds that marketplace that I just built. I really like the marketplace. Oh, there's also one other item I need to go into depth about in a few minutes. But yes, now we need to finish up these walls. I really want to round them off. Now, it was a really like tricky process to make these walls look fluid, because since you just have like just regular square pieces, I really had to kind of do some finagling to make it all fit together, and it's a little bit time consuming, but I think it's also pretty good to watch because it can help you like smooth out walls if you're trying to do it. Also, going back to the subject of them licensing different IPs, what are some different IPs that you guys would like to see in Planet Coaster? So for example, would you want to see like Nintendo stuff, or like what movie would you want to see incorporated into the game? I would definitely like to see like a Disney pack. I think that would be really cool. You can make it like a real life Disneyland, or even other just like Hollywood style like movies, because you could honestly make the next Universal Studios and Planet Coaster. There's so many different options. I just watched a really cool coaster made in Planet Coaster. If you look it up, it is Planet Coaster Portal 2, I believe. It is a really good build. Pretty much they made like a miniature like short film with a roller coaster where you kind of go through like the first subjects with Wheatley, and he's like testing you, and then you go through some portals, and they like recreated the rooms to make it really seem like you're going through portals. But then Wheatley tries to kill you and you escape, and then you kill Wheatley. It's really freaking cool, and you should check it out. Planet Coaster Portals. And there's like Japanese subtitles, but they also added dialogue, and just all the sound effects were just, it was so well done in so many different aspects. It's one of the very first builds where I think they truly capture what Planet Coaster can do as a game. And they also use video billboards, but they're like incorporated so well into the build where you can't even tell you're looking at billboards. So it's some pretty freaking cool stuff. Now, as we are filling in this glorious little town, I'm copying a couple buildings around, and I'm just filling up spaces. Gonna be building more buildings. I think once we really have this town built up and there's a lot of buildings, it's gonna really feel massive and feel like a really cool like build. Once I start building, like, I'll probably build around 10 to 15 more house styles, and then once we have that giant castle in the background looming, just with the roller coaster just going in and out of it, it's gonna look really cool. Sometimes I'm curious as to how you watch these videos as a viewer. I'm wondering like how much of the park you visualize in your own head first before I build it, or if you just like watch it with no expectations and just kind of see what I come up with, because there is different like ways to watch it. Like when you guys watch the videos, do you think, oh, I would have done that different, oh, I would have done that different, or like how do you guys like react to what you're watching? I'm curious. Right here, what I'm doing is I am copying pieces of the wall and pasting them down. That way we can finish up the wall. That's going to take a lot of work to smooth it out, but I'll probably cut out most of my wall smoothing just because it's not that important. Also, just a heads up, at the end of this video, I recorded an outro where I used my new graphics card to get a shot of the park, and so you'll get to see all the stuff that we made this episode, but nice, good quality, good frame rate, all the details are turned to high, and it looks much better, and you guys will get a sneak peek of what next episode will look like from here on out. It makes me so happy that I'm able to play this game and really show off its true beauty. Also, I've seen several concerned comments saying that I should change the car ride to something that you would find in a medieval town, and because they didn't have cars back then. But unfortunately, I don't think there's any other type of vehicle you can ride in right now that would look better. So I'm just gonna stick with cars because they look kind of vintage, and maybe we can name it something like Ye Old Carriage or something. I don't know, something like weird like that. I said the word like way too many times in that sentence just now, but I think a lot of people say the word like on a pretty frequent basis. It's one of those words that lots of people just say very often to delay their speech whenever they're thinking, because they want to consistently be saying something at all time. Kind of like how in mumble rap songs they have those weird sound effects in the back that sound like bird chirping sounds to fill in the empty spaces. And now we're gonna add some smokestacks on top of these houses so they look a little bit more lifelike. I think the more movement you have around these houses, the less they look like fake simulations. It kind of just brings them to life. And then at the very end of this episode, I decided to go back outside and work a little bit more on this building next to the giant swing, just because it's been sitting unfinished for a long time and I wanted to get a little bit done on it. I don't finish it because, I don't know, I'm not even sure if I can finish this building at this point, but I just wanted to at least have something started because it looked way too empty. I will probably just add on a little bit more to this little section every single episode until it's finally finished. We'll just add on a little tiny bit. We'll just like watch it very slowly progress and get a little bit more like finished out. Maybe we can go more all out than we were expecting ourselves to go in the first place because we're like stretching out the time period. We'll see how it goes. Alright, we're getting pretty close to the outro footage, so I'm going to start wrapping things up. I want to apologize how long it took me to get this video out. I kept pushing it off because I've been streaming so much and I've been like letting that take priority, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to try to be a bit more frequent with the series, especially since we have these new graphics now. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys next time. Have a great day.